Town.
Darien and New Canaan. Saying the two names together is enough to conjure memories and feelings of past battles in the everlasting war that these two townships fight, a war that has spanned a century.
Rivalries are born over time, carried on through generations. In Connecticut, there's no rivalry quite like this one.
The rivalry of the FCX, blue and white against red and black. Darien and New Canaan. Doesn't matter the sport, doesn't matter the circumstance, but this always lives up to the hype. This Darien side is erupting. He shoots, he scores! Shot by Hagen. McCorney, can he win it? And it's in!
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Ram Week.
Separated by just 4 miles, but divided by more than a century of rivalry, this annual high school tradition renews on the Lacrosse turf as it's the blue and white against the red and black. Waving Rams, Darien, and New Canaan. Pick your side, but pick carefully, as this rivalry is the pinnacle of any high school sports season. Hi, everybody. Joined alongside my broadcast partners, Cooper Puff and John Fraters. I'm Braden Shanks. So glad you can be with us on the DAF Media Network. Cooper, I'm going to start with you. A Darien team that has seen their roller coaster of a season. They took down the #1 team in the country, the Brunswick Bruins, but since then it's been an up-and-down road for this Wave team as they come in 6-4 to this contest.
Well, yeah, Darien had their struggles later on in the season. They started off great, but the face-offs, they've heard them all year. I've been saying it. They've had great. Barbagallo came up great last game, but he's had a tough matchup against Totaro and Whitefield.
And John, a very different story for Chip Buzzio's squad. One of the best starts in program history, starting 8-0. Saw some tough competition in the Jesuits of Fairfield Prep and the Crusaders of Archbishop Stepanak, but the Rams are looking to get back on track with this game against Darien today.
Team kind of get back on the freight train, rebound off that loss against St. Joe's, and see what they can pull off in this very, very interesting matchup, as the weather's not perfect here today, but we'll see. They got the face-off pair of Totaro and Wheatfeld. Totaro, both college recruits. Totaro going to Denver, Colorado, very good school, D1 program. We'll see what they can do and how they can use that to their advantage today.
A week ago, both of these teams nationally ranked, but now fast-forwarding a week, Tuesday, they came out with the national rankings at Cooper. Both of these teams missed the cut. They were 23 and 25 last week. Now not even in the top 25, but Darien's got a lot to prove in this one.
Yeah, definitely odd seeing both these teams out of the top 25. It's very rare to see both of them out, and hopefully they can get back in soon.
So again, those are your USA Lacrosse Magazine top 25 rankings entering play here today. And last year, these teams met at historic Dunning Field. It was a game that New Canaan got the best of Darien, thanks to a opening face-off win, taking it to the house. And there's the series history between Darien and New Canaan. And John, what have you seen in this rivalry over the years?
Well, it's been a very good rivalry. Every single game between these two is always going to be a dogfight. Doesn't matter. Very close towns together. A lot of these kids know each other, and around here in the FCAC, every matchup is a tough competition, but especially when it comes to Darien and New Canaan. And about every single sport, it's going to be competitive, but especially lacrosse here in Connecticut.
And again, those are your series histories. Now taking a look at our FCAC standings coming into play today. New Canaan sits atop the FCAC standings, 4-0 in conference. Darien 3-1. Cooper, that loss to Staples, killed the Darien Blue Wave. But the beauty of FCAC lacrosse, it's one day and anything can happen when it comes to the standings.
Yeah, well, even though they took that tough loss against Staples, and Staples was able to come back in this game, if they take down New Canaan, who's 4-0 in their conference play, it'll be a huge increase in the standings for them.
So again, New Canaan looking to hold their ground, Darien looking to make up some ground, but those are your FCAC players, or those are your FCAC standings. Now some players to watch in this contest. John, I'm going to go back to you. New Canaan, their player to watch. They've had a big attacking this year, the junior committed to the University of Michigan, Doster Kroll. What does Doster bring to this New Canaan team?
Doster brings a lot to this team, whether it's forcing the other team to put an extra man on him, double him, or even just his ability to spread the ball. You've seen it throughout this season so far. His awareness of where everyone is on the field has really played importance to him. And you see these passes, you don't see them by a lot of kids, and shows how good Doster is because he has a snipe of a stick, but he also has this vision which sets up his teammates like Max Lowe and everyone else, James Towers, other people.
So that's Doster Kroll, one of the star attackmen on this New Canaan team. And on the Darien side, Cooper, you know the names of Carter Hagan, Brady Picorni, and Dylan DeRiso. But one player who's turning on as of late is the junior attacker, Bucknell-bound Porter Barnett. What's the inside scoop on Porter's game?
Yeah, Porter's become a great player in this offense. He's really come alive in the late part of this season, scoring goals and able to find all of his teammates around the field, whether that's Picorni or DeRiso or even some of the middies like Rupenstein and Lancaster.
Barnett, he had a couple goals against the Yorktown Huskers on Tuesday, a game that Darien took down the Huskers. Actually, Thursday that was, a game that Darien took down the Huskers 11-6. The defense played well, but Barnett got him on the board. And Bucknell-bound Porter Barnett will look to get Darien on the board against an arch rival in the New Canaan Rams. And all three of us have already talked about it. The weather's going to play a big factor in this one. A rainy day in southwestern Connecticut. You see the weather forecast on your screen. That's a lot of green right there. I mean, I'm no meteorologist, but that does not look pretty right there. And that's what the players are going to be playing in. Cooper, you've played in weather like this before. How's it going to affect the play?
Well, the ball's going to come out a little high off their stick, so you might see a couple of turnovers, just missed passes. But these players should be able to get used to, settle into these conditions, and play a great game of lacrosse.
How about you, John? How do you think New Canaan is going to adapt to the weather?
Well, both these teams are filled with stars, whether it's committed to college or just really solid players. And I think that just making those cuts towards the net and being able to use the ball movement to go against the other team. Darien's really solid team. They play to their strengths and they move the ball well, but so does New Canaan. New Canaan's able to spread the ball out. And you talk about the weather, face-offs are going to be a bigger factor today, because if you can win that face-off and get possession and make a run towards the crease, it's going to help you a lot, and you're going to get more scoring opportunities.
So it's going to all start with the face-off and build out from there. Both teams are going to look to get to a hot start, and it's going to be an interesting one for sure. And I do just want to point out, today is the boys varsity lacrosse Wave Strong game. They're dedicating this big game against New Canaan to the Wave Strong organization. A few players, including the captains, will say a few words before this game as why this organization is important to them. But it's just been so amazing to see teams and students come together as true leaders over this shared Wave Strong mission, which is centered around reminding each other it's okay to not be okay. And a lot of people will be wearing their Wave Strong t-shirts today, and it's just a great cause that the community's gotten behind. Cooper, I think you're on the call with those basketball games we had in the winter for the Wave Strong games, but it's something that this community has really rallied around over the last couple of years. Really, the last year, that is.
Yeah, definitely a great thing to see coming together here at Darien.
So again, the teams are getting ready. The wind is picking up. The rain is still coming down. It's going to be a brutal one for sure. Some fans still trickling in, but it's the Darien Blue Wave and the New Canaan Rams in another gladiator fight from the CHS Stadium Field. Starting lineup, national anthem in the first face-off. Coming up next, EAF Media Network.
Stadium for today's boys lacrosse game between the visiting New Canaan Rams and your Darien Blue Wave. Now for the starting lineups. First up, the Rams, led by head coach Chip Buzzio, assisted by John Carro. 3, Colin Finnegan. Number 4, Matthew Salmini. Number 7, Griffin Gettner. Number 19, Maxwell Lowell. Number 23, Foster Brown. Number 24, Teddy Rosen. Number 27, William Hayes. Number 33, Cameron Wheatfeld. Number 46, Bryce Lyden. Number 55, Braden Roby. And in goal, number 88, Holden Busby. And now for your Blue Wave, led by head coach Jeff Brameier, assisted by Chris Sabrina and Greg Lewis. Number 4, Porter Barnett. Number 8, Briggs McGuckin. Number 12, Captain Mac McGarren. Number 20, William Bonner. Number 26, Mark McNamara. Number 37, Ben Bilodeau. Number 41, Leo Barbagallo. Number 50, Dylan DeRiso. Number 55, Elliot Lancaster. Number 88, Captain Jake Wilson. Number 99, Captain Brady Picorni. And in the cage, number 1, Carter Hagan. We now ask that everyone please rise and turn your attention to the flag displayed on the video board for the playing of our national anthem. Before we begin, today the boys varsity lacrosse team has dedicated this game against New Canaan as a Wave Strong game. A few players, including the captains, will say a few words as to why this is important to them.
Test, test. Thank you so much for coming out to support the boys varsity lacrosse team and Wave Strong today. Today's game is dedicated to mental health awareness. The Wave Strong mission is important to us and very personal, not only as a team, but as the greater DHS community.
After losing 2 of our classmates to suicide last spring, including one of our own lacrosse brothers, Matthew McAvoy, we are committed to breaking down the stigmas of mental health and reminding everyone it is okay not to be okay. And if you ever need help, speak to somebody.
These messages are not only important within the walls of DHS, but throughout the entire Darien community and our neighboring towns and teams like New Canaan. Please support Wave Strong because we know we are stronger together. Thank you.
You heard it right there, the powerful message from the Darien High School captains and Paul Bremer, Brady Picorni, Jake Wilson, Kean Levine, and Mac McGarren, as well as the New Canaan captains accompanying them at the Darien D. And again, this night all about mental health and raising awareness for it. That's exactly what Wave Strong exists to do. But now shifting into this game, our starting lineups for this contest. First for the visiting New Canaan Rams and head coach Chip Buzzio's squad. We'll see their starting 12. And John, what are you going to take us through on this starting lineup for New Canaan?
Well, big surprise so far this season is Max Lowe. Came in here and is the leading goal scorer on New Canaan so far. And really big surprise is he hasn't really been a factor previous seasons, but this season he came in and put in the work in the offseason and is a great addition to this piece, to the squad. And then you also have Doster Kroll and you have Will Hayes and Bryce Lyden, both solid defenders, both sophomores. You know, the depth in this Rams team is just so amazing, and you'll see it in substitutions. But the starters are really good on this Rams team.
Those were the New Canaan starters. Now the Darien starters. Cooper, why don't you take us through them?
Yeah, this starting attack line just has been incredible all year. Porter Barnett stepping up, like we said previously, and then we have Ben Bilodeau, the freshman, stepping up in a huge role coming into the season. And then for the Fogo, Leo Barbagallo, definitely having a in-and-out career right now. And for the defensive side, Mark McNamara coming up huge as a sophomore, and Carter Hagan, the goalie, been incredible all year in net, and he's come up huge for the Blue Wave, and he's got to come up big tonight.
Hey, you can't forget about Carter Hagan. He has kept the Wave in so many games this year. Looking to do the same here as Leo Barbagallo and Cameron Wheatfeld will get set for our opening face-off in this contest. Again, the annual rivalry between the Darien Blue Wave and the New Canaan Rams about to see another chapter here in a few seconds. And we are underway from the DHS Stadium Field. The stalemate on the D. Knocked into the empty space. And Wheatfelds can't get it. And that one's going to the Rams, so they'll restart it with Thomas Garcia, the junior. New Canaan starts with possession. They're moving from right to left on your screen, and they're visiting black jerseys with the black helmets. Darien in their home whites with the blue numbering from left to right and the gray helmets. Now ready behind the net, that's number 19. Max Lowe. First shot of the game, and it's a goal. Doster Kroll, our player to watch, puts the Rams on the board 1-0, not even a minute into the contest.
What a shot there by Doster, just showing what he can do. And you saw him after with the celebration. This game is pretty personal, and you see it. You see how much of a factor this game is going to be in terms of FCAC rankings and just competition. But Doster Kroll showing what he can do there. Off the assist by Max Lowe, the pair that play hockey together can translate it into the lacrosse field. And look at Doster Kroll there putting the Rams up 1-0.
One of the many multi-sport athletes out on the field this afternoon. Whistle is blown, some confusion on it, but the ball will go to Darien on the restart. That's the long stick of Will Bonner. Bonner just a junior, but he's got the starting role for the LSM position. Now Barnett. And Darien will get their first look on the offense. Already you can just hear the wind and the rain come into play. And another one. New Canaan goes up 2-0. That time off the stick of number 2, Ryan Connolly, the F&M bound senior, and the Rams have themselves a 2-goal lead.
There's Connolly, another star for this Rams team, and he was injured to start off the season. He came back, and his impact has been felt. Rams stayed afloat without him, but he adds so much depth, so much offensive firepower to this Rams squad, and you see putting the Rams up 2-0 here early, just a minute in.
We knew whoever came out firing was going to win this contest, and so far it's all New Canaan as they lead 2-0. A minute into this game, Barbagallo the straight face-off win. And in the open space, Ely trying to grab it. And Barbagallo does come away with it. Darien still looking for their first shot of the contest. Violation going to New Canaan. And this is not the start you want to see, Cooper.
Yeah, this is definitely a tough start for the Blue Wave here. A couple of turnovers. They had the offsides earlier, but they're lucky to get it back here by a errant pass from the Rams.
So Darien will look to set their offense up for the first possession. Barnett now over to the stick of Briggs McGuckin. Ben Bilodeau, the freshman, on the touch. Bilodeau, a star freshman. He had a hat trick at St. Anthony's last Saturday. Now getting his trip in this New Canaan game. His stick knocked loose. And that's going to New Canaan. The defensive likes of Cooper Smith stepping up. And the junior gives the ball right back to the Rams. Smith, a football player in the fall for New Canaan, now takes his talents to this lacrosse fields. One of many football talents out here, and the Turkey Bowl always is the premier Darien-New Canaan rivalry, but lacrosse always a close second. Salmini, the midfielder, off to his teammates. Colin Finnegan taking over that number 3 jersey from Carter Connors, the All-FCAC first teamer a year ago. He has since graduated. Now Salmini looking to use the sides, going up the lane. Lancaster playing the defense, and it's a goal! Matthew Salmini makes it 3-0, and the Rams have a trio to start this one.
Salmini with the bouncer there, and you just saw the good shot placement there. Haig not able to get a stick on it, but Rams up 3-0 here, and you see they're kind of running away with it so far. We'll have to see how Darien responds, but Rams really playing well right now. It'll force violations on Darien, get the ball and come down and put it in the net.
Yeah, the bounce shots today are going to be very difficult for both sides. The ball's not going to come off as high as it typically does because of the rain, and so it's going to be slick and it'll stay lower. So Carter Hagan just has to make that adjustment going forward.
It's John Totaro inside the faceoff X, holding against Totaro and the Rams. Ball going to the Wave. As you mentioned, John Totaro off to the University of Denver to play lacrosse for the Pioneers. McGuckin, and he scores! Silence no more. Darien finally on the board. Number 8, Briggs McGuckin with the goal.
Yeah, great answer there from McGuckin. He just got the ball and ran right down the middle, right past his defenseman, and got a nice time and room shot, and was able to get it past Busby.
And first time Holden Busby has been tested in this contest, and McGuckin gets the upper hand. And it's now 3-1, but again, still a lot of lacrosse left to be played between the Wave and the Rams. And Cooper, you think that's big for the momentum?
Yeah, it's a huge answer. You don't want to start off down 3 goals, and the momentum was definitely shifting towards New Canaan. But with that answer from Darien, they should get the momentum back.
So Darien now setting back up on the offense. Keeping it slow. Morgan Rupenstein grabbing the pass from Asa Beach. Beach, the senior, committed to St. Lawrence to play lacrosse. Now Porter Barnett. Barnett makes a nice spin move, goes to the cage, bounces it just wide. And that one rolls out but stays with the Wave. And Porter Barnett was looking to make it a 3-2 ball game. Restart, ball staying with the Wave. Brady Picorni. Asa Beach. He takes his shot just wide. And you see it right here. Beach was rifling that shot just wide of Holden Busby. The ball does stay with the Wave, so a long extended possession for the boys in whites. Picorni takes it himself and off the side post, out of play. Ball staying with Darien, however. Wrapping around and going high and scoring is Dylan Doriso. Darien scored the last 2 unanswered. Doriso cuts us down to a 3-2 game and a big goal from Darien senior.
Yeah, Doriso's done that all year long. He's been able to get his hands free right at the perfect spot, and he did it again there and got it past Busby.
Busby, a big guy in net, just jumped up on that one, missed it as it went up to that top right corner as Dylan Doriso has his goal in this contest, his first goal in the game. Barbagallo and Totaro. You can see the wind, you can hear the wind. Weather is definitely brutal out here. John Totaro winning it for the Rams. There's number 20 for New Canaan, Cooper Smith. Do you guys know how you watch the Weather Channel during like those natural disasters, the tornadoes and the hurricanes, and they send the weatherman like in the heart of the storm?
Yep.
I feel like that's what we're doing right now. We're in the heart of this right here, middle of a big storm.
Definitely interesting to see how the weather's playing a factor so far. Lots of shots by both teams, some errant, but you know, both finding the net. A total of 5 times between the two teams. We'll have to see if this scoring pace continues.
It's also interesting the Darien High School and New Canaan High School girls were supposed to go to Cold Spring Harbor this afternoon to play in the Brains for Gains tournament. That was canceled completely, so neither of the girls' teams got some action today. The boys are still in action. Pass in front of the net, just skipping past number 6, Hayden Roeder, but grabbed by New Canaan's Henry Laddick. Laddick, a sophomore, stepping up big on this New Canaan team. It is still the Rams that control a 1-goal lead. Laddick still with it, being guarded by McGuckin. The ball is knocked loose, and New Canaan is able to recover. Before the whistle, and Chip Buzzio comes out to take his first timeout, a beautifully placed timeout by the 10th-year head coach. 3-2 our score, 6:36 to go in this first quarter. We're going to step aside on the DAF Media Network, and we'll be right back. We're back on the DAF Media Network out of the New Canaan timeouts. They took their first of 2 timeouts in this opening quarter. Now New Canaan restarts with Griffin Gettner, the senior. Rams jumped out to a 3-0 lead. Darien scored the last 2 unanswered. Going low, through some traffic, McNamara gets his body on the line. McGuckin on the rebounds. Darien was looking for the flag, they don't get it. Nice spin move from McGuckin, he's still up. And no offsides call on it. And the referee lets him play on, so Darien keeps with it. Nice spin move from Bilodeau. And Cooper, you like to see that move from Briggs McGuckin right there, just fighting through contact, bringing into the attacking third.
Yeah, McGuckin's had a great start to this game. He has a goal, he has a great defensive turnover there, and he's just been a great creative factor for the Blue Wave today.
And Hunter Busby makes his first stop in the contest. The New Canaan senior makes his first.
Holden Busby, just so you know.
Oh, what did I say, Hayden?
Hunter
Holden Busby.
Holden
Well, I would
Busby.
say my roster is right now underwater, so any apologies for names we might butcher. Nice pass down low. Nonetheless, Holden Busby, he is a 3-year starter on this New Canaan team and a really good starter for head coach Chip Buzzio and the Rams. And what's the impact, John, when you have a player like Busby in net who is basically a franchise player?
Well, it's good to have that solid, the person you can lean on. You know, he's a captain this year, but just having that reliability in the net helps you so much. You know, bad goalie, you as defenseman, you worry about any shot that's shot on net, but with Holden, you're a little bit more assured that he can make a save.
Making a nice move. Number 19, Max Lowe. Rain coming heavy from right to left. Don't know my cardinal directions, so we're just going to leave it with right to left. Cooper Smith. Now Roeder. Bouncing that and scoring. Another for this New Canaan team. And they get off the schneid, make it 4-2. New Canaan retains their lead.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier, Cooper, right? The bounce shots are going to be a big factor. You know, anything on the ground, the goal is going to have to adjust, and it's tough to read the ball right now, I assume.
Yeah, that was a perfectly placed bounce shot, top left corner. very tough save for Hagen to get to, and New Canaan got the best of them there.
That was number 36, Henry Laddick, the sophomore, with the goal. Laddick, a sophomore, that stepped up big for this New Canaan team. He's had a couple multi-goals.
36, Henry Laddick.
Now New Canaan with another face-off win, and again, those are very vital in a game like this. The long stick takes the shot, stopped by Hagen. That was William Hayes looking for the goal, and now Hagen being bombarded. He will turn it over to New Canaan.
Hagen was out of his crease when he made that save, so he couldn't go back to protect himself, so it almost caused a turnover there for the Wave.
Hagen got that ball, and he immediately had 3 defenders swarming him. Nothing he can do on it. Doster Kroll with the ball. He's at the 50. Kroll keeps it moving a short ways to Thomas Garcia, the junior. Now Colin Finnegan, junior that stepped up big for this New Canaan team, looking to get this offense rolling again. 3:40 in the opening quarter. And you can just see the water flying off the sticks once they catch it. At X, Connolly. He scored a goal for New Canaan already in this contest. Getner once again moves this one to the stick of Max Lowe. And New Canaan just taking their sweet time. No shot clock, no rush. Knocked to the ground. The Darien defense holds strong. McNamara on the near side. The long stick. He loses it immediately. The defensive battle continues as McNamara has it across the restraining line. Down low, Picorni. Spins his way out of it. Brady Picorni with the goal. A nice shot and a goal from the junior captain. Make it 4-3.
Yeah, that was just a great play that started with McNamara. He lost the ball but kept with it, and he got it over to Olvani, who was able to find a wide open Picorni. Great spin move here, and he got a great shot off past Busby and buried it to make it 4-3.
It's almost like Picorni slipped, spun out of it to get his balance, took the shot on his offhand and still beat Holden Busby on it. So a big goal from the Darien junior, and it moves it to a 4-3 ball game.
Yeah, the margin of error on that shot is just so thin, you know. Such a great shot by Picorni to able to seal it and make it 4-3. Rams up by 1 now, not 2.
False start on Barbagallo and the Wave. Shot rifling his duster just high. And Kroll has got a lethal shot that he looks to utilize.
Yeah, you talk about Kroll, his production last year, 69 points over the range of the season, and he's already had a lot of points this year so far. Not sure how many exactly, but such a big factor for this Rams offense.
In no man's land, Darien able to corral that. Carter Hagen picking up the ground ball. Now the long stick of Mac McGarren, the Bucknell-bound senior captain. He loses the ball. This New Canaan defense is really scrappy out there. They're knocking that ball loose left and right, and once again giving the ball to the offense.
Yeah, New Canaan, is doing a great job at riding this Darien offense and not allowing them to set them up.
Flag has been thrown on it, and it's going to be interesting who they're calling it. It looks like it's going against Jake Wilson as he pleads his case to the referee. You can see it right here. They're going to call him for probably the check, even though he got knocked to the ground.
We very rarely see Wilson get a penalty and enter the box.
So cross-checking penalty against Jake Wilson. It will put New Canaan on the man up.
Big opportunity here for the Rams to get that goal back. You know, this Rams offense man-up advantage, big advantage for them right now. This scrappy game, every goal matters.
So Ryan Connolly, again, the senior committed to Franklin and Marshall to play lacrosse for the Diplomats. Intercepted. A big one by Jake Hendrickson, the long stick. And now Darien will just ice the clock out, playing player down.
Hendrickson steps up there on the man down, coming in for Wilson.
Cooper, we talked about it a little bit on the Yorktown game on Thursday. That's what Darien likes to do, play those long sticks, play pesky defense, and just annoy the other team. And right there, one of the long sticks intercepts the pass. Wilson just waiting to get cleared from the box, and he is. So both teams back to even strength now. Both teams back to even strength. Darien looking to capitalize. Now a good man-down kill for the Wave.
And this is exactly what the Blue Wave want. Birdie Bacorny with a shorty on him. And here comes the double team.
And a pass, skipping that one to a New Canaan defender. Number 24 for the Rams, Teddy Rosen, a senior, on the defense. Long stick with the ball. 28 seconds, New Canaan looking for the late offense.
Big stop by the Rams. They're able to force Bacorny to make a turnover.
Down low, wide open, and scoring! Number 23, Duster Kroll with the big-time goal.
And that's a highlight reel goal for Doster there. Maybe a Sports Center-worthy goal with a behind the back. We'll get the replay here. Down low pass from Gettner. And from low to high, able to net that in the top right corner. Such a great shot by Kroll there. And that is his second or third goal of the game so far. You see his factor in this game is already being made, and he's putting his foot in and able to give the Rams a 2-goal lead now on the Blue Wave.
There's a reason he's going to be a Michigan Wolverine in a couple years, and it's for that reason right there, his ability to score anywhere on the fields. That one's kicked all the way past the restraining line. McNamara can't grab it. The scrum for it. 3, 2, 1. And that will take us to the end of the first quarter. New Canaan leads Darien 5-3 on the DAF Media Network. We're going to step aside and be right back with second quarter action between the Wave and the Rams.
This broadcast is produced by DAF Media, a joint venture between the Darien Foundation and the Darien Athletic Foundation. The production is staffed by student and adult volunteers from the town of Darien and southwestern Connecticut.
We're back on the DAF Media Network. You see him right there, 10th year head coach of the New Canaan Rams, Chip Buzzio. He's leading his squad for this New Canaan team, and you see his career record right there. And John, what do you like about Chip Buzzio's style out there?
Well, he's so poised and patient. He really commands his guys. He expects the best, and he makes sure that the guys deliver. You know, this continued tradition of success in New Canaan played a big role in the community. You see the community really rallying around lacrosse, and it's just a great sight to see, and all because of Chip Buzzio.
Again, Chip Buzzio, one of the legend head coaches when it comes to Connecticut High School lacrosse. We'll get to the other head coach at halftime because there's a lot of storylines around that one, Cooper, and we'll get there once we get there. Nonetheless, New Canaan wins the first face-off in the second quarter. The Rams still in their visiting black jerseys with the white numbering and the black helmets. Moving from left to right now on your screen. Darien in the home whites with the blue numbering and the gray helmets from right to left. And Cooper, I'm going to start with you. What did you see in that first quarter from Darien?
Well, Darien's definitely struggled on their transition game from defense to offense, and New Canaan's done a phenomenal job at taking that away from them and not allowing Darien to really set up their offense for an extensive period of time. And I think Darien needs to be able to get past and set up their offense in order to come back in this game.
Matthew Salmini was looking to get another one. And John, what did you see out of the Rams in the first quarter?
Just playing poised and able to limit Darien's transition offense, like you just mentioned, Cooper, and forcing turnovers and violations, and that's really played to their role. And then when they come down to the offensive end, they convert. That is a big factor. Not a lot of missed shots.
Dalster Kroll took the shot there, was looking to add another to his name. He's got 2 so far in this contest. On the restart behind the net, being tripped up is Lowe. Max Lowe off the screen. Now over to Griffin Gettner. Rams team looking to find the open player. Kroll once again, he's got some room. Duster winds up and scores! A snipe and a half from Duster Kroll, and it extends the New Canaan lead to 3.
Wow, Duster Kroll able to close out the first quarter with a goal, and then able to put another one to his name. See him up at the top of the key, like we call in basketball, looking for the shot, and then comes around and gets a little room around his defender and throws the bouncer, skipper, and able to score. And you see the celebration from him, really pumped. It's such a great piece to this New Canaan Rams team. Can't emphasize that enough.
And Cooper, what's the answer that Darien's going to have to Duster Kroll?
Well, they're just going to have to either send a slide very early to him and eliminate him as a factor.
Hagan makes that stop, stopping the New Canaan momentum. They were looking for another. A long stick of McGarren hurls this one out to midfield, finds his fellow long stick, Jake Wilson. Wilson, the senior, committed to Loyola, Maryland to play lacrosse for the Greyhounds.
Here you see Darien trying to set up their patient offense, their structure offense, and trying to really get another goal, get back into this game, down 3 right now. Able to try and set it up, maybe get the ball to Picorni and see if he can take a shot.
Rupenstein. And that one just low on Max McBride. And it will go out of play, an unforced turnover on the Darien Blue Wave, and those are going to kill any team. And now this gives the ball right back to the Rams.
Bit of a low pass there from Rupenstein, and McBride was unable to corral the pass.
Making some nice spin moves is the long stick of Braden Roby, the sophomore. Roby coming off of a successful ice hockey season with the New Canaan boys ice hockey team, went all the way to the state semifinals where they fell to Notre Dame West Haven. And they took down Darien at the Matire Family Arena in Sacred Heart's campus in the quarterfinals. A couple hockey players get to live out the rematch here on the lacrosse turf. Kieran Shin now. It's actually 36 rather. Henry Laddick. And Hagan grabs it. Again, the visibility here is starting to go quickly. So I'm shocked that the players seem very untouched out there.
It's a Darien New Canaan lacrosse game. I mean, both teams want to win, don't care what the weather is. They just want to add this W to their record, want to add the win to the win column.
Max McBride now off to Asa Beach. Picorni dumps it to a wide open McBride, and he's stopped by Busby. The big spoon of Holden Busby makes another stop, turning away the Darien freshman.
Yeah, and you see the clear there. You talk about Holden Busby, maybe not the best example there, but he's got a stick as well. He saves it, and then he can able to get the ball up past midfield, and such a great tool to have if you're a goalie.
McNamara takes the stick with him, and he's now all of a sudden into the attacking zone. Head coach Jeff Brameier wanted to call. The flag is thrown, so the delayed flag on it going against the Rams once the play stops. And Darien's got a free possession out of it. Free possession. And again, Darien's been wanting that offsides call all game. Referees have let it slide so far, but eventually we will see a call. So Darien now, McBride. Just high on Rupenstein, out of play, and once again, the unforced turnover will stop play and send a New Canaan player to the box.
I believe they might give Lowe a slash here instead of an offsides.
Yeah, and Cooper, how do you think the turnovers by Darien are really affecting them right now? Seems like they're turning it over a lot.
Well, both teams came out of the second half. Both teams are struggling here to get their offensive going. New Canaan's turning it over, and then Darien's turning it over right back. And right here, it's a great opportunity for Darien to change that and get a goal on the board.
So Darien now on the man-up offense, going around the horn. Picorni to McGuckin. Picorni thought about it. Now off to Rupenstein. He takes the shot, stopped by the big spoon of Holden Busby. Busby's getting hot out there, makes his third consecutive save. And the Rams looking to conserve this lead. Griffin Gettner into the attacking zone. The New Canaan penalty has killed off, so both teams back to even strength now.
That was a great clear from Busby to Gettner to set up the New Canaan offense here.
Definitely interesting to see Darien not really able to set anything up on that man-up advantage except for the one shot, obviously, which was saved by Busby. You know, really trying to be patient when maybe they just need to take shots.
And Salmini slips to the ground, loses it. McGuckin taking a big hit. This game's getting physical. McGuckin's got some space. Briggs is still off. No offsides. And again, Jeff Brameier is going to let the referee hear it. Again, the defenders can't, or the attackers can't cross over that 50-yard line. They're trying to claim that Lowe stepped over it. But nonetheless, Rupenstein sets up Blue Wave offense. Picorni wrapping this one around, cuts it off to Barnett. DeRiso's there to help, though. Rupenstein once again, the defensive likes of Thomas Garcia playing him tight. McBride off to DeRiso, just wide.
Great opportunity there from DeRiso.
You see it right here. DeRiso rifled the shots. Just went out. Now Picorni trotting around in the end zone. He'll start his rush to the cage, taking Leiden with him. Hail Mary pass just high at DeRiso. And that's where Holden Busby really makes his money right there, John. His height in the cage, ability to jump up and knock down that pass, so you really can't get beat on the one-timer.
Oh, great save by Busby there.
And timeout taken by head coach Chip Buzzio. He takes his second timeout, retaining the possession. And with 5:01 to play, New Canaan's got the possession.
Looks like Buzzio just wants to settle down the guys here, try to figure out how to set up a set offense and add another one soon. But, you know, obviously game's getting a little bit more sloppy as it goes on, as the weather plays a factor, but also the teams are getting more physical, and it's going to become a dogfight. Not that it already hasn't been, but it's going to get even more physical, and Buzzio wants to make sure that they still play poised during this dogfight.
6-3 our score in favor of the New Canaan Rams. We're going to step aside on the DAF Media Network, and we'll be right back. Out of the second Chip Buzzio timeout, it will be a New Canaan possession. Griffin Gettner to restart at 35. He's going to quickly set up the play. Bonner's going to try to track him down in the defense. New Canaan leads by 3. I believe Darien has yet to score in this second quarter. Rain still coming down, wind still blowing. Vladeck off to Gettner. Gettner at X just high of his fellow attacker. And Max Lowe, and the turnover now goes in favor of the Wave.
Great defense there from Bonner on Gettner to create the turnover and get Darien the ball back.
Really great stick too, able to tip the stick and able to force the errant pass, set up the offense.
Possession staying with the Wave. Dylan DeRiso to restart. 4:15 to play before halftime. Lancaster off to Picorni. Brady Picorni makes one nice move, going up the lane, behind his back, and he scores! Brady Picorni with the goal, and make it 6-4, a big one from the Darien junior.
Yeah, definitely an incredible goal there from Picorni. He just runs through the entire New Canaan defense and gets that behind the back goal and the man up.
And that's why he's headed to Notre Dame soon, you know, able to get through those New Canaan defenders, able to force something upon Busby, able to get close. And when you're a goalie, you know, you never want the ball to be anywhere close to you on the shot, but Picorni able to weave through, and he'll use his size to just get through and take the incredible shot there.
So a big one from Brady Picorni, makes it 6-4, and he just finds ways to score left and right, makes up his own ways to score. And a big one for Brady Picorni. And that's now looking to spark this Darien offense as they have some life in this second quarter. Ground ball still on the ground. It's kicked. Doriso's hustling for it. Barnett fields the ground ball. And Darien's in the offense.
Bad job by New Canaan there. Needed to corral that ground ball, just not able to. And you see now Darien's in the offensive zone with an opportunity to minimize the lead 2-1.
Timeout taken by Jeff Brameier and his Blue Wave. He'll look to set up the offense. 6-4 our score. Darien's got some energy in them. 3:30 to go before halftime. We're going to step aside on the DAF Media Network and be right back.
This broadcast is produced by DAF Media, a joint venture between the Darien Foundation and the Darien Athletic Foundation. The production is staffed by student and adult volunteers from the town of Darien and southwestern Connecticut.
We're back on the DAF Media Network. Restart from the Blue Wave. Ben Bilodeau. Right now coming right in us. Right into us. If you're just joining us, Braden Schenk, Cooper Puff, and John Fraters with you. So glad you can be with us here on this Saturday afternoon from the DHS Stadium field. Pass just high to Doriso. Rupenstein recovers.
Definitely a game you do not want to miss if you're...
Picorni, he scores! Brady Picorni cuts it down to a one-possession game, and as he has his second in the last minute.
It looks like Picorni's become more aggressive recently, as he saw things weren't really going Darien's way. Teammates not really moving the ball well, able to just take the ball and put Darien on his back, and now it's 6-5.
Yeah, Picorni's doing a great job taking over this game and bringing Darien back in it.
Brady Picorni, the lead scorer on this Darien team. The junior committed to Notre Dame. He had a couple against Yorktown on Thursday and now has two to his name, 2 of the 5 for Darien. Barbagallo looking to grab it. The scrum, and it's fielded by New Canaan's Cooper Smith. That face-off unit for the Rams has definitely forced the aggressive scrum for it, and they win that one.
Barbagallo's definitely held his own though today against the Rams face-off. He's won a couple.
Laddick. Now Connolly. He's got 2:20 to work. Makes a nice spin move. Dumps this one off into no man's land. Grabbed by Will Bonner. He gives it to the goalie Hagan to command the offense. The quarterback now. Out to McGarren on the far wing. Mac McGarren. He has one long stick goal in the season. Off to Lancaster. And Barnett one-handed snag. This Darien team keeping New Canaan on their feet and stopped by Busby. The rifle of a shot from Briggs McGuckin.
Way to save by Busby there, really able to stop that, trying to stay hot, able to clear New Canaan now in the offensive zone.
Canaan setting up the offense now. Cooper Smith going straight to the cage, pushed down, and the flag is thrown, the late flag on it. And New Canaan now just being told to settle down, get the good possession. And that one will be grabbed by Darien. However, the penalty will be assessed, and it will give New Canaan their second look on the man up.
You can see there, Doster trying to use his threat of the shot, cradling, trying to make it look as if he's shooting, and then trying to flip it inside. Not able to there, obviously, but that's Doster's bread and butter right there. Other than his shot off the stick, that vision, and using that shot to create opportunities for his teammates.
Restart coming for the New Canaan Rams. James Towers, the sophomore, playing on the man-up units. His father, Andy Towers, former coach in the PLL, won a championship with Chaos a couple of years ago. Now around the perimeter. Doster Kroll. He's the guy you want to shoot the ball. And intercepted, was looking for Towers. Instead, McNamara once again gets in the way of it. And Cooper, McNamara is having one game to remember as a defender.
Yeah, he's just doing a great job. He's been all over the field on the transition game and on the defensive side, and he's been a huge factor for the Blue Wave's success today.
And Jeff Brameier will take his second and final timeout of this first half. Looking to set up the Darien offense. 36 seconds to go. 6-5 in favor of the Rams. But Cooper, you got to assume Darien's looking for the equalizer.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely maybe setting up a play for Picorni to come off a screen, or even Doriso or Barnett. I think those plays, or running plays to those players, will end in success for the Wave.
And John, what do you think the strategy for New Canaan is going to be out of this timeout?
I think you face guard Picorni. You just saw him score 2 goals, able to weave through defenders. You need someone else to make a presence on him, make sure he feels pressured, and make him put the ball on other people's sticks and make his teammates do the work. And make his teammates make plays. So far, you see the weather really having an impact on this game, whether it's skippers into the net or just feeling the pressure of the weather, the wind. There's so many different factors. And, if you neutralize Picorni as New Canaan, you got to think you're going to end up better on as this game goes on. So just stop Picorni right now is the goal for New Canaan.
And you can just hear the wind still. The rain coming down hard. It's going to be a tough possession for Darien, but they will have 36 ticks to get a shot off and try to beat Holden Busby. Darien trots out. Picorni, Barnett, Rupenstein, Bilodeau, Doriso, and McGuckin. They're attackers. Busby will look to stop the defense. The penalty from Darien has killed off successfully, so they're back to even strength now.
Definitely wouldn't be surprised if Darien even ran a play out of Picorni to find another player like Barnett, because Picorni can really do it all. He can score, but he's also a beautiful passer, and he's able to find a wide-open teammate at any point.
McGuckin. Gets this one to Rupenstein. 20 to work. Bilodeau. Finds a cutting. Picorni stopped by Busby.
And that's what you want if you're the Rams, if you're Chip Busby. You want to see Holden Busby go into the half with confidence, and I think that save does that as he's able to stop Picorni. Picorni with a tough angle there and not able to finish.
And that pass is going to go out of play. We are through 24 minutes from the DHS Stadium field. New Canaan leads Darien 6-5. John, I'm going to start with you. New Canaan got going early, scored the first 2 unanswered. Darien got back in this game, but it's been a dogfight in this first half.
Yeah, I think you just got to increase physicality here. put the ball in Doster Kroll's hands. Griffin Gettner, Ryan Conley, get your really studs out there. James Towers, maybe he becomes a factor later in the half. But start running plays. Set offense is really going to help here as shots are going errant and it's windy and extremely rainy. And it doesn't look like the weather's going to get better as this game goes on. So we'll have to see how New Canaan runs their offense and try to neutralize Brady Picorni. He's heating up at half. But you go into half knowing that Holden Busby is confident in his ability, and he's been, like you mentioned earlier, he's been the star of this Rams in net for 3 years. So he's been able to solidify himself as almost a franchise player for the Rams.
And Cooper, how about Darien? What does the Blue Wave need to do in this second half?
Well, in the first quarter, Darien definitely had their struggles on their transition game. A lot of turnovers from there. But in the second quarter, they've done a great job getting their transition game going, setting up their offense, and they brought it back and making the game a one-point goal game. But Busby's been doing a great job, making great saves, as you saw at the end of the half here. Busby made a great play on Picorni.
So 6-5 our score in favor of the New Canaan Rams at halftime. Darien will trot in the locker room, talk some things over with their 40th year head coach, and for the first time ever, the premiere of the 40th season of Jeff Brameier at halftime on the DAF Media Network. Don't go anywhere because second half's coming up next with the Rams and the Wave.
A lot has changed in 4 decades at Darien High School, but one thing has remained constant for Blue Wave boys lacrosse, and that is head coach Jeff Brameier manning the sideline.
Jeff is everything to this program.
Coach B is he's probably one of the greatest coaches in high school lacrosse history.
I think what differentiates Coach B and the Darien program from other programs around the country is he's just got this love for sport that supersedes anybody else in the business. And, we call him Jeff Business for that reason.
This marks Coach B's 40th season at the helm of Darien Lacrosse, and after 19 FCAC championships, 14 state titles, and thousands of players later, Coach B has built quite the resume.
Coach B's been doing this for 40 years now, and his knowledge of the game is just so incredible. But aside from that, he's also such a good players coach. Builds connections with the players. You can really tell that he really does care for all of us, and he has our best interests at heart, and that's why we all have our full trust in him and our faith in him.
Coach B just has an uncanny way of talking to players and kind of teaching us through things. Not to mention just the spirit that he brings in the locker room every day. Just getting us ready for each game, and he really just does things that I can't really put into words.
He has a way about him where he commands respect, but he also has everyone's best interest in mind. But his love for competing and going out and being the best every single day, whether that's a practice or, of course, winning championships.
His ability to just command like a room, it's not like his voice is loud or scary or anything, but when he talks, people listen.
He's coached hundreds of all-state, all-county, all-American players, and guys have gone on to great careers, and there are lots of guys that didn't go on to great careers. But I think I speak for most of the alums that the years that we spent playing for him, whether our memories ended in high school or lacrosse memories continued after it, those were still the best years ever.
My favorite memories as a Darien lacrosse player were playing in the state and FCAC championship games at Brown McMahon. As a kid, you would grow up going to the games with your friends and family, sitting in the stands, idolizing your favorite players, guys like Kyle Hollingsworth, Cooper McDonnell, Wade McCarthy, and you would sit there envisioning one day you being out there on that field and cementing your place in the legacy of Darien lacrosse players. Fast forward 5 or 6 years from that moment, and you're on the field and the stage is yours.
In 1984, the DHS boys lacrosse team was transitioning from a club team to a varsity sport. Young Jeff Brameier, who'd coached DHS football and swimming, was interested in the head baseball coach position, yet he agreed to become the school's first varsity lacrosse coach.
We were a baseball town and a football town and a basketball town, and a bunch of guys asked him if he wanted to be the coach and be an adult advisor for the team, and he took on that role. He didn't know much about the game, and he learned it just like all of his players. We all learned together.
I go way back to 1984 when we started our first year as a varsity team, and You know, frankly, none of us really knew a whole lot about it. As we got more experience, we got better, and I think we won 2 games the first year, maybe against Norwalk and somebody else, and then we were about a 500 season the second year in '85, and in '86 we had more wins than losses, and it was a lot of fun.
Lacrosse wasn't a big thing in Connecticut. It was Long Island and Syracuse and Baltimore, and so in Connecticut we had New Canaan and Wilton. And then we were the other guys.
I think every team's going to set goals for themselves, and early on it was, win a lot of games and beat the teams that we thought we were more talented than. But Wilton and New Canaan represented a different echelon in those early years.
My senior year, we lost to New Canaan in overtime. That was the closest we had ever come to Wilton or New Canaan. And now thinking about it and watching these guys play, it's Darien with the target on their back. We had no shot of beating Wilton when I was in high school. They were that good.
And for the 19th time in program history, the Darien Blue Wave will celebrate as FCAC champions.
I'm proud to say that I was part of the first 2 teams, or the first teams that did actually beat New Canaan and Wilton, and it was an incredible threshold to kind of...
All-time winningest lacrosse coach in Connecticut history.
He really still is a student of the game, even in his 40th year of coaching. And we're so grateful to have such a great leader and coach like him on the sidelines.
He's just such a motivator, and he gets the best out of everyone around him. He went out and he tried to get the best athletes to play the game, not the best lacrosse players, because that's what we learned with him, and that's what he taught us, was to learn the game and to be students of the game just like he was.
When I think about the success that Coach B's had throughout his career, there's many different things that you could attribute it to, but what sticks out to me the most is the way that he involves himself in coaching and developing his players years before they even step foot on campus at Darien.
Think back about my athletic experiences on through college, and some of my best memories, I would say even my top memories, are playing for Jeff, playing for Darien High School, and being part of what was, a new program at the time. But I mean, look what he's accomplished over the last 40 years. I'm just so proud to call myself an alumnus of the program.
Behind me and in front of you is a little taste of what we were talking about together through this season, about establishing, and carrying on the tradition of excellence that we have in this program.
DAF Media is actively seeking financial support. Founded in 2017, DAF Media has quickly become Southwestern Connecticut's source for quality sports, arts, and community programming. If you like what you see on the DAF Media Network and want to help us continue to deliver high-quality broadcasts while teaching lifelong STEM, communication, organization, and leadership skills, please email us at sponsor@dafmedia.org. We are a registered 501c3 organization.
Back on the DAF Media Network, you see him right there, 40th year head coach Jeff Brameier leading this Darien team. And again, in his 40th year leading Darien, you saw the package at halftime. The players had a lot to say about their head coach. Over the last 40 years, last 4 decades, he's been leading this Darien team. And Cooper, we've talked about it all season, but what's the impact that Jeff brings to Darien?
Well, he just brings amazing experience. It's his 40th season, as you said, Braden, and having that, and he's such a successful coach that no matter what team he has out there, it almost feels like he can coach them to win any game.
So Jeff Brameier, he's leading Darien. Chip Buzzio, those are our 2 head coaches here now. Our 3rd quarter, in which New Canaan leads Darien 6-5. Opening one by Will Hayes and the Rams. Canaan quickly setting the offense back up. Rams looking to get something going here. Canaan moving it back around. Made the smart call at halftime, go with the laminate for the second half roster. So I can actually see the names now.
There's Doster Kroll up top. We've seen his impact so far. We'll see if he can get another one, increase the lead to 2.
And a game, again, New Canaan scored the first 2 unanswered. Darien then fought back in the game. Haven't yet taken a lead or tied this game. It's all been New Canaan, and Rams controlling a lead. And John, what do you think head coach Chip Buzzio said to his team at the halftime break?
Gotta stay poised. You know, it's gonna get chippier as this second half moves on, and gotta be able to keep control of the ball. No turnovers. That's the big key. You saw Darien turning it over a lot, and you're not able to start offense if you turn it over, and obviously you give the other team the ball for free essentially. And you know, just stay poised, wait for your shot, and look to attack with aggressiveness. Be aggressive.
Canaan just running the baseline right now with number 19, Max Lowe. I believe his sister Jade Lowe.
Yes.
Yeah, off at Williams playing lacrosse for the Fs. One of the best to ever play for Kristen Woods and the New Canaan girls. I feel like those are one of those that you kind of know they're related, but that last name is so common you never know.
Exactly.
So I would check with our resident New Canaan expert, John Frater's taking the trip over from New Canaan. I want to thank you for coming over on this Saturday, John. And of course, the DAF Media Lacrosse analyst, Cooper Puff, for coming on as always. Braden Shank on hand as well. Well, you guys are probably nice and warm under a couple cozy blankets, nice fire, watching this great lacrosse game between Darien and New Canaan. Stopped by Hagen, a good shot from Gettner. We're out here in the pouring rain, the winds. The rain now coming a little bit sideways, coming right into us, so.
Definitely see the weather playing a part in this game so far. You saw a couple goals. They were skitters. And as Cooper mentioned earlier, the ball comes out higher when it's wet. You've seen the impact, and both teams able to capitalize.
So it's probably coming north to south now. Did start from east-west or west-east. Will Hayes, the long stick. Being met with the long stick of McGuckin. Looks to assist it to Salmini. Turned away by McGuckin. Briggs McGuckin using the speed. He's on the D across the 50. A wave looking for the equalizer. Lancaster. Picorni. Wide open is Barnett, and he scores! Porter Barnett left wide open, and he ties us up at 6. And for the first time since 0-0, it's a brand new game tied.
Yeah, that's a huge goal here for the Wave. Barnett able to finish and get the man up for Darien to start off this 6-6 tie right now, and they have great momentum to even take back the lead.
Yeah, and you see what separates a really good player from an exceptional player is able to use your shot to create opportunities, able to get the ball inside. You saw Doster trying to do that earlier. You saw Picorni even try a couple times, and there he was able to do it. And you see the impacts. Wide open shot on Holden Busby from 5 feet just outside the crease, and able to convert, tying up the game and giving a new sense of life into this Darien team against a very good New Canaan team as well.
And it does appear that New Canaan's number 24, Teddy Rosen, has taken a seat in the box. So Darien, I believe, will get a man up out of this, if I read that correctly. Again, this is a Wave Strong game for Darien, supporting the Wave Strong organization, raising awareness for mental health in Mental Health Awareness Month in May.
Darien going to try to double the ball here as their man up,
And that one's going to the Wave. Head coach Jeff Brameier and the offensive coordinator Chris Segredo was looking to get them. Actually, the offensive coordinator Greg Lewis, defensive coordinator Greg Segredo were looking to get Darien to move quickly off the whistle. And that's something this Darien team really has trademarked over the last 20 years or so, is that quick offense, the box work. And they're looking for another here to take their first lead of the contest.
Darien has time for maybe 1 or 2 quick plays here before they run out of time on their man up.
So again, it is a Darien man up. McGuckin skipping that one out of play.
Yeah, great feed from Picorni to McGuckin. He was able to skip the pass over the New Canaan defense.
Right idea there. Not able to convert Aaron's shot, but we'll see. They might try that again. Good play there.
And the man up is now over.
And that pass airmailed off to the Darien D. Bonner keeps it in the attacking zone, but grabbed by the long stick of New Canaan's Bryce Leiden. Timeout by Chip Buzzio and New Canaan. 7:25 to play in this third quarter. Chip Buzzio calls his timeout, retaining the possession. And John, what do you think is being said in that New Canaan huddle?
Well, first of all, definitely an interesting idea here to call a timeout just a couple minutes into the second half. But I think the idea was, you saw how sloppy it was. You know, ball moving, not really finding sticks there. And Buzzio wants to settle down his guys after the goal, the neutralizer by Darien. He wants to try and pick up the momentum here, put confidence back into Holden Busby, and really try to pivot them, make this the turning point where they wash away the blue wave and try to gain a lead here as it's 6-6. And as the conditions get worse, you know, this game's going to get chippier as it goes on, and he wants to make sure that his team is ready and is stable after that goal by Darien.
6-6 our score. Darien breaks huddle. Again, all 4 timeouts were used in the first half, 2 by each side, and that's our first we've seen in this second half. So again, both of these head coaches are geniuses when it comes to this sport, and they're looking to use their upper hand and their advantage. And now the rain is literally right north-south. I think that's the direction on it. We're set up here at the 50, and it's going sideways, the rain. Does not seem fun to be out there playing. Well, the game seems fun, not on the weather is what I mean. Again, they will play through every element except for the lightning, which we have not seen yet, and I don't think we will see any. Just heavy rain. Restart for Griffin Gettner and the Rams. Hayden Roeder, the junior, wearing the number 6 jersey.
Back down to X behind the net.
Laddick makes a nice spin move, and he airmails that pass just high on the receiver. Max Lowe turned over to Darien.
And again, McGuckin's done a great job all game, just forcing turnovers for the Blue Wave and creating offense. He's just doing a great job, just getting a last-second poke in there to disrupt the pass.
McGuckin, he's got the pass on it. Laddick playing the defense. Elliot Lancaster starting his rush. He's one player we haven't called his name that much. He had 3 goals against Yorktown on Thursday. Picorni finds a cutter. DeRiso just wide. Busby came up, and Barnett's going to try again, going low off the side of the cage, and Hunter holding Busby. Once again, a brick wall in net.
Yeah, Busby just 2 great saves right in front of the net, not allowing Darien to take over the lead there.
You saw him. Picorni has an idea of what he's trying to do, and he's been successful so far. You'll see he's going to keep trying to use the threat of his shot to open up stuff, open up opportunities down low, close opportunities. And, you know, as it gets worse, turnover by the Rams there. But as the weather gets worse and as the game goes later on, they want to try and avoid taking long shots.
And that one is going out, but the momentum is staying with the Wave. The whistle went against New Canaan. Head coach Chip Buzzio was in disbelief over the Waves on the restart. Ben Bilodeau, the big freshman, across the 40. Darien looking to grab their first lead of the contest. Brady Picorni Coming around and just wide of the cage, thanks to McGuckin. It's staying with the Wave.
Almost an identical drive there from his earlier goal where he was able to slide around, turn around, and take the shot. But you see he's trying to come around from the left side of the net and trying to net one.
Brady Picorni spinning around at X. Now to McGuckin. He was looking for a cutter, didn't find one.
And Picorni loves the matchup here. He's got the shorty. New Canaan trying to get the pull back onto him, and they do.
And Darien was looking to capitalize on the switch. And that one's going to New Canaan thanks to the whistle. So Darien unable to even take a shot on the possession.
See, that's what happens when you make errant passes. You turn the ball over and completely disrupt the momentum. New Canaan now has the ball up top.
Another big gust of wind. New Canaan resettling. Darien players jumping on the sideline to keep warm. This weather is getting very worse, or much worse. A shot from Salmini just wide, skimming off the stick of Carter Hagan. And possession going to Darien.
Great athletic play there from Wilson to use his speed to get over there and get possession for the Wave.
You can see head coach Chip Buzzio fired up with that one. Hagan comes across the 50, just hands it off to McBride. Again, with the visibility going, those passes are going to be tough to see. .330 to go before the quarter break. Beach to Brady Picorni. Picorni has 2 goals to his name. Dumps it off and skipping that one out of play. Ball staying with the Blue Wave, and then the referee is going to override and give it to New Canaan. It didn't look like a shot, looked like a bad pass.
Not much happening so far in the second quarter other than the early Darien goal to even it up. But you see definitely visibility taking an impact on this game and the weather. Much more errant passes. You know, both these teams just looking to set things up, set up close opportunities.
And a whistle, that one is going to Darien. So they get the whistle on it.
New Canaan's been struggling in this third quarter to stay on sides, and that's their second turnover because of it.
A shot and a goal! The freshman, Max McBride, gives Darien their first lead of the game.
Yeah, just a great dodge there. Got him on the hitch, and he found a time and room and was able to finish it. Max McBride, the freshman. The freshmen have been stepping up for this Wave team all year long, and McBride back-to-back games with the goal.
Darien capitalized on the New Canaan mistake, and the freshman, Max McBride, gives Darien their biggest goal of this game so far and the lead. A team that only rosters 4 freshmen, but all 4 of them step up big for this Darien team.
Big face-off here for both teams.
Barbagallo and Totaro holding, and that one is going to New Canaan.
Totaro able to win that face-off. Sets up the opportunities for the Rams to even it up. Down by 1 with 2:30 remaining.
Kroll on the spin move, the roll to Salmini. He scored the second for the Rams using the size. He met with Ely on the double team. High pass grabbed by Connolly. Connolly pushed away. Good defense by Mac McGarren. The left-handed Colin Finnegan now. Under 2 minutes to go in the quarter. Connolly. Gettner. A shot. That one is just high. Possession staying with the Rams.
Kroll trying to find the back of the net for what would be his 3rd goal. Trying to create something here for the Rams after definitely a scoring drought here.
And the Darien defense. McNamara fighting for it, the box out. And it's won by Darien, the sophomore defender, Mark McNamara. And now wide open is Elliot Lancaster. Darien's got numbers. Lancaster, he scores! Trickling it past Busby, Elliot Lancaster gives Darien the multi-goal lead.
Darien's transition game has really changed from that first quarter. It's come alive, and you saw it right here. Elliot Lancaster took it all the way down the field and was able to get it past Busby to take a 2-goal lead.
The momentum of this game has completely shifted. Darien controlling a 2-goal lead. The junior Elliot Lancaster stepping up big. Again, I was saying at the beginning of the quarter, he's a name we have barely called in this game. And finally, he makes his impact known as a violation against Cam Wheatfeld and the Rams. Gives it to Morgan Rupenstein of the Blue Wave. And a rare error from the Bowdoin-bound senior on this Rams team. His brother Justin taking the face-offs for the Michigan Wolverines this year. One of the best to ever come through this New Canaan High School program. It's Justin Wheatfelds. Mesa Beach. Rupenstein slowing it down. 50 seconds to go. Wave looking for one more shot in the quarter. Corny starting his dodge from the X. Doriso. Rupenstein off the crossbar. Ringing that one out. 27 seconds to go. To play. Picorni looking to extend the Darien lead. Picorni still got it. 5 to shoot. Wraps that one around off the side of the cage, and that will take us to the end of the third quarter. Darien fought all the way back. They have their lead. 8-6, but there's still 12 minutes to play. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the DAF Media Network, and we return the fourth quarter between the Wave and the Rams. We're back on the DAF Media Network. Now going to take a look ahead for both of these teams. First for the Darien Blue Wave and their upcoming schedule after today. They play the number 24 team in the country, the Wilton Warriors, on Thursday before welcoming Mamaroneck for the first ever meeting between the Wave and the Tigers. And then Stanford, Chatham, and Greenwich to finish out their season. That game at Greenwich will be at Fairleigh Dickinson University. And then as for the New Canaan Rams and their final games in the season,
they play Staples on Tuesday, so depending on the outcome of this game, they gotta forget it, and if they lose, they have to forget it. Quick loss, go to Staples and play up to them and beat them.
Here's a face-off, the big one that catches my attention, John. In 2 weeks, New Canaan will take the trip to Pitzer Stadium on the campus of Penn State University to take on the Upper Arlington team out of Ohio, one of the best in Ohio. And again, you can't get much better than Penn State lacrosse. I mean, that's going to be a great game for the Rams, a great way to finish out their regular season. First face-off goes to the Rams. And John, what did New Canaan do differently in that third quarter?
Well, you basically saw the scripts completely flip. between Darien and New Canaan. You know, New Canaan not able to get anything, couple offside penalties, and those turnovers are really affecting them, not able to get anything started on the offensive end. And you see that Busby was losing a little bit of confidence here, but we'll have to see if they can get one here and get a quick one after the third quarter and kind of bring the momentum their way, as they're struggling to find anything right now.
Again, a series that has been dominated by Darien in the last 20 years or so. The Wave have won 22 of the last 27 meetings. And that whistle is staying with the Rams. Last year, New Canaan won by 1. It was the first time in 7 years New Canaan took down Darien Lacrosse. So the Rams, for the first time since 2015, enter a game on a winning streak against the Blue Wave.
Darien's defense just done a phenomenal job coming out of halftime. New Canaan went scoreless in that third quarter.
They did. And that one knocked down. And Cooper, a very different story than that Yorktown game we saw on Thursday when Darien, the third quarter was their weak 12 minutes. Now it's their strong 12 minutes.
Yeah, Darien, knowing the entire season, they've been struggling in the third quarter, but today they played great lacrosse, shutting down New Canaan, not allowing them to get a goal, and then taking the lead is exactly what they wanted to do.
Weaving through the defenders. New Canaan will bring out Ty Groff to play the defense.
Ty Groff, three-sport athlete, really great athlete, going to Rhode Island to kick. Obviously, the all-state first-team kicker, as well as a really good basketball piece, and now on the lacrosse field, also very good.
I mean, I think a three-sport athlete is probably even selling him a little short. The fact that he kicked, he punted, and he was the quarterback for New Canaan. But Barnett scores! Porter Barnett gives Darien the 3-goal lead as he's got Darien's 9th.
Yeah, Barnett able to cut right in front of the net, and Picorni was able to see that, and he got it in right before he went into the crease, so the goal was good. Phenomenal play from Barnett, who's just stepped up in the late half of this season.
Porter Barnett, our player to watch, the Bucknell-bound junior, gives Darien the 3-goal lead, and New Canaan has still yet to score in this second half, and they have to quick if they want to try to make a comeback. But they just need one at least quick. Cam Wheatfeld on the face-off win. Wheatfeld looking to start that energy on this New Canaan team. Walker Blair, the senior, seeing some time. He captained the New Canaan Rams football team in the fall. And now you can see head coach Chip Buzzio digging into his depth a little bit, realizing something didn't work in that third quarter, and trying to find a new answer to this Darien team. Because as we've seen, Cooper, once Carter Hagan and this defense gets hot, there's no stopping them.
Yeah, Hagan's came up huge this second half and not allowing anything to get by him.
Connolly, that one just low on Gettner, out to the restraining line, past the long stick. And the ball's going to Darien. The whistle holds the momentum, but Leiden reached over. And now Picorni on the far wing. Brady Picorni goes low and scores. Brady Picorni puts Darien in the double digits, and it's all Wave right now. They're rolling.
Picorni obviously hated that whistle, but he took him all the way, used his speed, got inside, and was able to go low on Busby and finish to make it a 4-goal game, and the momentum has completely changed to the Blue Wave.
It's as we were saying in the beginning of this game, when New Canaan scored those 2 goals in the first minute, Darien had to win the next 47 minutes, and so far they're doing just that. But I don't want to jinx anything, because they do still have 8.5 minutes they have to go before they can officially say they took down New Canaan, and John Totaro will look to stop that and give the New Canaan Rams some life in them. Doster Kroll. Low pass on Gettner. And Barnett will watch it out. Another turnover against New Canaan. And now it's Darien back on the offense. Rupenstein. Oh, to the wing. A shot wide from Picorni. That's a shot you're fine taken, up by 4 and 8 minutes to go.
Yeah, if you're the Rams here, you really got to figure out a way to stop this sloppy play. Lots of turnovers, and they're really affecting you right now. You saw Darien's able to just capitalize off those turnovers, and now you're down 4 with 7:55 remaining, and you're in an uncomfortable spot against a very good a very good Darien team. Excuse me.
Here's a very good Max McBride. That one just airmailed high.
McBride looking for his second.
He did have that really big goal in the third quarter to give Darien the lead at 7-6. It's the only lead change we've seen in this game. Asa Beach, he scores! Asa Beach, his first goal on the season. And the Darien senior extends the Waves lead.
Yeah, just a great shot from Asa. Again, time and room went low, and it got right past Busby. Asa comes into this game as a senior on the second line, and he has that leadership to the second line that is needed.
Asa Beach extends the Darien lead to 5. And I don't know what Jeff Brameier said to his team at halftime, but whatever it was, this is a much different team.
For sure, Braden. Darien's just played great all-around lacrosse. Their defense is coming up big, and their offense is playing great.
And Cooper, do you think it had anything to do with the fact that Darien went into the locker room at halftime, stayed dried for 10 minutes while New Canaan was out on the field in the huddle?
Maybe it gave them a chance to warm up a little and gave them the confidence to get back out here into these harsh conditions.
Yeah, when you've been doing this for as long as Jeff Brameier has, you've just about seen everything. And Darien now has themselves a 5-goal lead with 7 minutes to play. But again, there's that Staples game that Darien played where they blew a lead like this in the final 8 minutes. So you can't count your can't count your eggs before they hatch. Is that the saying?
I think so. But here's a great opportunity for New Canaan to get a goal onto the board for the first time since the first half.
A shot through some traffic and stopped by Hagan. Carter Hagan makes a big stop. New Canaan playing man up, and Darien will now just look to kill the penalty. That's their top priority. Jake Hendrickson looking to help do that. McGuckin, a nice move. Briggs McGuckin is just getting fancy with the stick work.
McGuckin's done a great job opening up this transition game, and he's been phenomenal all day.
You can definitely tell the sidelines are both very different. New Canaan kind of in awe, trying to figure out what went wrong and why they're down by 5. Well, Darien's rolling right now, coming off 5 straight goals. Six straight goals, obviously. But, you know, Darien's looked like a completely different team in this third quarter.
Barnett to Lancaster. Ben Bilodeau. Gets it out to Picorni. Wide open McGuckin. Just hands it off. Penalty has been killed. Both teams to even strength. McGuckin keeps it with the Wave. 5:40 to play.
McGuckin a little shaken up at the end of that play. Looks like he might have been checked low.
Elliot Lancaster going to take his sweet time. No shot clock, so there's nothing rushing Darien right now. We see head coach Jeff Brameier just telling Lancaster to use the other wing. Slow it down, control the tempo of this game. You want to give New Canaan as little time as possible to try to mount a late comeback. And you think, Cooper, will see a situation like that Darien Richfield State Championship a couple of years ago?
Well, I think this season especially they've learned to, you know, slow the game down when you have big leads, and I think that's what Coach Jeff Brameier wants them to do here. They have about 2 minutes and 30 seconds until they have to keep it within the box. So right now they're okay. They can definitely take their sweet time. A lot of field to work with.
And again, that was something in that Staples game where Darien lost. The fact that they just took the first shot they saw up by 8, up by 7 in the final 8 minutes or so. So referees put the fist up. Darien Now contained. Bilodeau. Bad pass. And Busby grabs it. 4:15 to work. New Canaan trailing by 5. Does Chip Buzzio's squad have a late comeback in them? You'll just have to watch and see. Corney can't get it. The long stick of Bryce Leiden has it. Doster-Kroll, this is the guy you want to spark your comeback. Gettner. At X. That one just low. Out of play, although the ball will stay with New Canaan.
See, New Canaan going into desperation mode right now. Down by 5 with 3:55 remaining. Need a goal here quickly, and then need to win the faceoff.
Matthew Salmini. Nice spin move, knocked loose. That was Will Bonner playing the tight defense. And Rupenstein has it, just gets it to his goalie, Hagen. And New Canaan doesn't, they got that one shot off, but the ball right back to Darien. Push and the momentum staying with the Wave. And this Darien team has had a second half to remember. Getting a little lazy with it, but Rupenstein will track it down. Again, a game that New Canaan led 6-5 in the second quarter. This Darien defense has held extremely strong and let the offense do their thing. Have scored the last 6 unanswered to push it to 11-6 in favor of the Blue Wave.
Yeah, and you see similarities from this game to the prep game on Thursday, where New Canaan fell apart in the second half just like they did today. And you see New Canaan not able to create offense in the second half. And you see against good teams will create offense, and you'll be in trouble.
It was Ty Groff getting in the middle of it, forcing the turnover. Up high off of Picorni's stick. Brady can't grab it. Instead, the long stick of Leiden does. And once again, Leiden sets up the Rams in transition. And Cooper, this is the Darien defense we're accustomed to seeing. Not the defense that played against the Manhasset and the St. Anthony's that really just gave up those big goal totals, because when this Darien defense settles in, it gives the offense the chance to take some shots, be in more comfortable situations, and really play as a team out there.
Yeah, this defensive unit has just looked like a well-oiled machine. They've not let up anything this second half, and it really shows that this is the Darien team that we know and can play at a high level.
Kroll off of McNamara. He falls to the ground. And McNamara makes the save on that one as fight for it, ground ball fielded by the Rams and Cooper Smith. Flag has been thrown on it, so and a cross check is called. You'll see it right here. Actually, they're calling it against Darien, so it will be a New Canaan man up. Jake Wilson called for his second penalty. So New Canaan on the man up, looking to spark their comeback. 90 seconds to work. Connolly. Round the horn, Finnegan. A shot stopped by Carter Hagen. That one's going to the parking lot. That one almost hit my car. Just shows you how much velocity that shot goes. Someone's going to walk away with a souvenir. Kroll, he scores! Going low on Carter Hagen, and the Rams finally have their first goal in the second half. It took them 23 minutes, but finally the Rams break the drought in the second half.
And that is 3 goals for Doster-Kroll on the day, and that obviously breaks the scoreless second half, but a bit too late now, it seems. Down 7-11 with 1 minute remaining, and This game was a true testament to how good New Canaan can play in the second half, and obviously second game in a row not able to create anything in the second half, and you see that it hurt them.
And Cooper, what did you see out of this Darien team tonight?
I just saw great lacrosse all second half. They were like a welded machine, defense to the right back to the offense, and everyone on this team played phenomenal, but got to give props to who has the ball right now, number 8, Briggs McGuckin. He came up big all game, doing a great job at setting up the Blue Wave offense and doing a great job on their transitions.
Again, a game that New Canaan got going early. They scored the first 2 unanswered. I said it before and I'll say it again. New Canaan won the first minute of this game. Hands down, when you scored 2 unanswered like that. But the last 47 minutes, Darien fought and fought and fought to the very end, and they did not let anything up to this New Canaan team. Carter Hagan stepped up big in net. McGuckin, Barnett, Picorni, Doriso, Max McBride with the big goal all helped this offense get back in this game. And now Darien just finds themselves 15 seconds away from taking down their #1 rival, the New Canaan Rams. They can feel it. They're taking the jackets off. 2, 1, and the Darien Blue Wave takes down their arch rival, the New Canaan Rams. They complete the comeback to remember, play a flawless second half, and the Rams have fallen by the final of 11-7. The faithfuls that made the trip out here cheering their wave on. A masterclass from Darien in the second half. They take it 11-7. Cooper, I'm going to start with you. Any final thoughts?
Like I said, you got to give a huge props to their defense and their keeper. Carter Hagan made phenomenal saves all in the second half, and he locked down that. And then the defense, Mark McNamara came up huge. He played a great game. He set up the transition, was able to get down, even had a couple assists. And Darien showed today that they're a great lacrosse team.
They are indeed. Darien moves to 7-4 on the season, 4-1 in the conference. This is huge, Cooper, for FCIAC conference standings. Darien now finds themselves in the top chance, and they'll now play the new #1 team in the conference, Wilton, on Thursday in a huge game for FCIAC standings, as Darien will be going for that top seed in the FCIAC tournament. John, as for New Canaan, a very different story. They came out of the gate firing, slowed down at halftime. The second half, they want to forget, I have to assume. Only 1 goal in the final 24 minutes. What went wrong for New Canaan?
Well, they just lost composure. They ended up turning over the ball, not able to create things in transition, and Darien's defense really stepped up. You saw them, New Canaan, really shocked by how good Darien's defense became. Holden, Busby in net became a little less confident, and you saw, but definitely tough conditions today. So definitely need to try and forget this game, although that is not going to be easy. And it's going to be definitely a pivoting point in their season. They're going to have to decide if they can come back. You know, now they're 9-3, and they just lost to Fairfield Prep, now to Darien, 2 FCIAC teams that are very good, and then Tuesday against Staples. And Tuesday against Staples is going to be the defining game for this Rams team. You know, Staples is pretty highly ranked nationally, and I think they're in the top 25, as well as they're going to be up in the FCIAC standings, and maybe these teams will clash again, and we'll have to see how New Canaan can respond to these 2 tough losses.
And New Canaan definitely has a lot to prove, and they will want a second chance on Darien, but they will have to wait for now. Again, your final from the DHS Stadium Field, 11-7. Darien takes down New Canaan. For our entire production crew, Liam Tomaszewski, Andrew Lee, Will Donnelly, Hugh DeMark, and Colin Tomaszewski. John Freitas, thank you for coming over from New Canaan. It was a pleasure. Cooper Puff joined alongside me, saying so long from the DHS Stadium Field. I've been Braden Schenk. This has been a production of the DAF Media Network, a joint venture of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation. Again, the Darien Blue Wave, your victors by the final of 11-7. Have a great night, everybody.